Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike for Sapulpa Times. Happy Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope that your weekend went well. It was a bright and kind of blustery one for a lot of us. Colder. It was noticeably chillier over the weekend than it had been the previous week. And so we're going to be looking at whether those temperatures are sticking around. Spoiler alert, they're not. But yeah, we're right in the middle of, right at the start, I should say, of spring break. And so a lot of you guys might be watching this and your kids are stuck at home. And so we've got stuff for your kids to do this week that we're going to tell you about. Let's get things started off with kind of the thing that's on the top of everybody's mind right now, and that is what happened over in Mannford. And so we are still getting details on what all happened as far as like how many homes and stuff were damaged. Officials estimate between 30 and 50 homes were damaged in the wildfires that hit Mannford. And I personally spoke with someone who has a friend who actually lost their house twice. They lost it in 2012 when a series of wildfires hit the same area, and then over this past weekend they were hit again. And so there's a lot of folks who are going through that. I don't know how many of you guys remember, but there was a larger series of fires that swept through the area back in 2012 and caused a lot more damage than just Mannford, but Mannford still was one of the hardest hit areas. And so yeah, they're really reeling over there. So here's what we do know so far. The Mannford city manager has declared a state of emergency for the town. So they're going to be looking to get state and federal funding to help recuperate the losses and deal with the damage there. State Attorney General General Drummond has released a statement making sure that everybody knows that price gouging will not be tolerated in the area. And so price gouging is a practice whereby retailers or business people will raise the prices of their goods and services to an exorbitant amount, really to take advantage of the people in the area who are already struggling, and maybe they don't have any choice but to buy a particular thing or from a particular place because of where they're located. And the businesses, unfortunately, will take advantage of that situation and use that to bring even more difficulty to an already difficult situation. And so the Attorney General has come out with a statement that very strongly warns businesses against doing that. And basically the way it works is if you raise your prices for your goods and services more than 10% over the normal price, then you run the risk of being audited and investigated by the Attorney General's office. So anybody who is out in that area or providing services to that area, they should definitely be keeping an eye on that. And I think there's an understanding that there may be a difference in price purely from the supply and demand free market system, the way that works. But when we're talking about helping a community that's been hit with a devastation like Mannford, then it's a better thing to go in there and err on the side of charity than it is to err on the side of capitalism, in my own opinion there. So, or on the side of greed, I should say. Not capitalism, but greed. So speaking of charity, there are a lot of organizations in the area that are starting to kind of partner up with the victims and other organizations, churches and nonprofits and things like that. And we're actually seeing some of those here in Sapulpa as well. So a local Italian restaurant, Il Gusto, that's located just about a block down the street from where I'm sitting right now, they stepped in and they said, hey, we're going to offer free meals for any of the first responders and any of the folks that might have been displaced by these fires. And so if you're someone who is in need and you want a good Italian meal, then be sure to come down and check out Il Gusto, or check out if they have their takeout options and things available. And they were one of the first to step up and be willing to do something about this. So it's really kind of them to do. Definitely fulfilling a need in a community that needs it. And I was told by the vice president of the Sapulpa Community Theater as well that when the show opens next week, we will also be doing a supply drive, I should say, probably canned food or clothing We'll have more details on that, and basically, like, you can bring that with you when you come to the show, and we will ensure that that gets to the victims. So there are actually several folks that live over in the Mannford area that attend nearby churches off of Highway 33 that we are affiliated with, and so we will be helping to make sure that those victims get the care that they need as they deal with what is an absolute devastating loss. So if you haven't already seen, Sapulpa Times did publish a video that was taken by our good friends Venture Films. They actually did some drone footage and went out and canvassed the area and got some footage showing the devastation and the blocks upon blocks of houses that were just reduced to nothing but rubble and ashes. And so we've got that available on the Sapulpa Times YouTube channel, and it's also at sapulpatimes.com if you want to go see that. And then, yeah, we're just kind of all banded together to help Mannford and the surrounding community kind of get through that over the next several weeks. So it's coming along. You know, it's a sad deal. Here we are at springtime, and this would be a time where we would expect that, you know, we'd be looking for signs of life and, you know, kind of breaking in from the winter freeze and all this good stuff. And here we are dealing with this type of a devastated situation. So, and this is right at the start of this type of season. So who knows what else we have to see. So we'll just kind of stay alert and stay vigilant. And on that note, staying vigilant, there is another elevated fire danger for today because things are still dry out there, and it is still a little bit windy, not quite near, actually not near as bad as what we had on Friday, but it is still going to be an elevated risk for today. So for this part of northeastern Oklahoma, you guys stay vigilant. Be sure to keep an eye on things if you're doing any kind of grilling or anything like that. The county has not orchestrated a burn ban or anything of that nature, but they are urging everybody to stay watchful and to keep, you know, a fire hose nearby, an extinguisher, whatever it is you need. And of course, just, you know, exercise extreme caution as you go about, you know, maybe you're running a grill or, you know, if you're a smoker, be very careful about where you throw those cigarette butts and things of that nature. So anyway, that is kind of the update on that. Let's talk about another situation that's happening. This is kind of bonkers here. I think a lot of people are aware by this time that Sapulpa is building a Dollar General, another one. And I shouldn't say Sapulpa, it's not like the city is doing this. Dollar General is building another location in Sapulpa. This will be our 5th Dollar General that we have just in the town of Sapulpa, the city limits of Sapulpa. And this is, of course, out on Highway 117, right near Hayward Hill Road, right across the street from what used to be a Bloom processing facility, I think, and before that it was a gas station. And anyway, it's on the way to Glenpool. You can't really miss it. You can see the construction and stuff happening there. But obviously, the headlines are coming out. Dollar General has announced that they're going to be closing almost 100 stores during the first fiscal quarter of the fiscal year. And so this kind of just boggles your mind. Why are we building another one at the same time they're saying that they're going to be closing almost 100 stores? And is any of the Sapulpa stores considered part of that closing? And the short answer to that particular question is we don't know. We have a guess, but we don't know for sure. They've not actually released a list of the stores that are going to be closing. But the one that they're building out on Highway 117 is just kind of, it's surprising. So Dollar General, I mean, I'll give them credit. They've really upped their game. I think they really kind of figured out that rural America is where they tend to thrive. And so I'm thinking Kellyville, you know, they didn't used to have much of anything, and then they got a Dollar General several years ago. The 3348 junction on the way to Drumright got a Dollar General just a couple of years ago. And you know, good on you for DG for understanding like where your roots are. And so a lot of people might be kind of concerned that they'd be coming into Walmart territory, but I think they've managed to find a really nice niche location. And it's great for those folks that live in like grocery store deserts. That Dollar General does have food items. Occasionally, sometimes they do have produce. depending on the store. And it's a great place to be able to kind of get your odds and ends when you live out in the country, as many of us do, and you can't drive all the way into Walmart, for example. But yeah, the fact that they're building another one in Sapulpa just kind of baffles the mind. Now, first of all, I want to clarify by stating that for any of you who are wondering, Sapulpa is not asking Dollar General to come build another store. I don't think we've ever done that, and this is basically Dollar General noticing a opportunity and maybe seeing a gap in the services that they provide, maybe and probably looking forward to, well, we're going to be closing this store here, we need a store over here to kind of help fill that gap. And so now they're building a new location, so it'll be a brand new store. Should be pretty nice as far as Dollar General stores go. But a lot of questions are about which store is going to be closing, and so we don't have a definitive answer. I will say this, and this is completely speculation, okay? So there is a Dollar General, there are two of them that are located in some of the more urban areas, I'll say, of Sapulpa, and that look like they have been on the verge of closing for a long time. And I know Dollar General is kind of, they've got that reputation for you walk in and it looks like they're constantly just putting the store together. There's open boxes everywhere, stores are kind of crammed and everything, but they provide a valuable service. So, you know, a lot of us are willing to look past that for the most part. And so there are a couple of Dollar Generals I think that might be on the chopping block, though. It remains to be seen on whether or not that'll happen. And then we've got a lot of questions going on as to, you know, what else is going to be moving in. So we did have the Walgreens store that was located on Taft, and that store closed at the end of February. It's been sitting vacant now. To our knowledge, there's nobody scheduled to move in or anything. A lot of you have put out your opinions about what you'd like to see in that area and in that building, and we don't currently have anything scheduled to go in there. So as soon as we know, you guys will know. But while we're talking about construction, let's talk about construction, okay? So downtown Sapulpa, there's a lot. There's construction happening. Now, my wife came down here for a haircut. Actually, brought my son down for a haircut, and this was on Saturday morning. And she told me that she was really pleased to see that there were lots of folks walking downtown Sapulpa, walking Dewey, and if that is you and you're out there supporting the small businesses that are, you know, trying to stay open through all this, then great, that's awesome. And if you're down here just checking out the construction and you want to see what's going on, also great, that's completely okay. But just keep in mind, guys, our businesses that are down here, they are affected by this, and they are still open. They are committed to being open. We do know about one that is saying that they're temporarily closed. I think it remains to be seen on whether they're going to reopen or not. And we have another one that's moving their location over to Main Street. But really, they're actually kind of changing their whole business model. So it's exciting. So I understand that it's a painful process, what we're going through right now, but we are in the thick of it. So, you know, we're that much closer to being done. It is March 17th, so we are now, let's see, 13 days into this 200-day construction project. And so almost 2 full weeks. Wow. So anyway, you guys hang on, continue to support those businesses, and be on the lookout because there's going to be more of them opening up, not only during the course of this construction, but we've got some that we're really excited to talk about after the construction ends. I was just talking with a business owner today that's opening up a brand new thing after the construction ends. And so we're excited to talk to them about that whenever that happens. You guys continue to support the small businesses and continue to come down here and spend your money because they need it for sure. Let's check in on our comments here. Morning to all of you guys who are saying good morning. Sherman Baker chimed in on the Dollar General, said the one on Dewey Street is a fire trap. And I think that he is referring to, in fact, I think that's the only one on Dewey Street that is shares the parking lot with the Way Church. And yeah, I have to admit, funnily enough though, from what I was told, that is actually one of the highest performing Dollar General stores in the district. And the reason being is because it's kind of sits in a food desert. You know, we've got all of our grocery stores, Price Mart, Walmart, Reese's, they all sit more on the southwest side of town, and that Dollar General is the only thing that's really on the northeast side of town. And so, if you're someone who needs a quick snack, and I've done this, you know, I go there and I want candy or something, and I'll swing by Dollar General just to pick something up quick because it's kind of closer in proximity to where I sit right now than either of our quick trips and either of the grocery stores certainly. So, but yeah, that's what the one I was thinking of there when we talk about Dollar General having, you know, boxes everywhere and things like that. So they could definitely stand to clean that store up a little bit. I don't know if they are going to or not, but we'll see what happens. Or they could be one of the ones that closes. So again, that is complete speculation. I don't know that that's happening. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was. So we'll let the events play out on that one for sure. So, but anyway, thanks to you guys who are supporting our local shops down here in downtown Sapulpa as we're going through this construction. So let's talk about some other construction. We've talked about Haywood Hill, where they're building the Dollar General. We talked about downtown Sapulpa. There's a brand new bit of construction that some of you guys are aware of, not everybody. But if you happen to be down by Kelly Lane Park, you notice that there is a mobile home park that was there that is no longer there. And this is right on the edge of the park over by the dog park over there and by the baseball fields. And some of you guys will recall that right in the entrance to Kelly Lane Park, right there by the baseball fields, there were, I don't know, a half dozen, a dozen, probably not that many, but several mobile homes that were there. And the city basically came in and reclaimed that property and gave the folks who own the mobile homes an opportunity to move elsewhere. And then they bulldozed those mobile homes and they demoed them and they're gone now. And so what is the plan with that piece of property? Well, it is official, and the details on it are a little bit fuzzy, but Sapulpa does have a brand new splash pad coming. And so some of you guys might remember that there was a splash pad that was in the works a couple of years ago. And so think about, in your mind, think about what we're talking about here. We're talking about right there next to the creek, and right on the other side of that creek, you have the Deluxe Properties Food Truck Park. And the original idea was that there would be a bridge installed there, and then there would be a splash pad right on the other side of that bridge. And the funding for that was raised by the Friends of the Sapulpa Parks Department. And then I think there was going to be some private donations from the owners of the Deluxe Properties and the dispensary right there and so on and so forth. Well, where we are today is the dispensary has now closed. Deluxe dispensaries are all completely closed. The Deluxe Properties Food Truck Park is technically a separate entity, but the fate of that park kind of remains to be seen. So they're separate entities, but they are related. And so we're not sure what all is going to happen there. And that meant a large portion of the private funding that was going toward the purchase and installation of that bridge has presumably also ceased. And so my understanding is the city of Sapulpa is now talking with the powers that be and going through whatever kind of legal battle might need to happen there, the not battle, but a path to either get that bridge installed or to find another route. But from what we're being told, plans are moving forward for a new splash pad over at that particular part of the park. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that that bridge is probably going to get installed. And the reason why I say that is because it was kind of critical to a component that the Sapulpa Parks is working on, which would mean a walking path. So some of you guys are not aware about this, but there's been a walking path that's been constructed all the way from behind Walmart over by Jefferson Heights and the new West Side Sports Complex, and then traveling all that way towards Kelly Lane Park, across the food truck park, underneath Main Street to the food truck park, cross the bridge into Kelly Lane. And so someone who walks to Walmart, for example, they would have a safer path than walking down Taft Avenue with all that traffic. But it's also good for those of us who like to take long leisurely walks or jogs and things like that. It'd be a really nice kind of serene and quiet path to take down there that takes you from that sports complex all the way to Kelly Lane Park. And it's been something that's been in the works for a couple of years now, and the city of Sapulpa and Sapulpa Parks Department has kind of quietly been adding to it and building onto it. And this bridge was a pretty critical component of that. And so the city, I think, is looking to see, how that's going to end up. And so when we know, we will share more about that with you guys for sure. But we're pretty excited about that. So we will let you guys know about that. So some of you guys are chiming in on the comments now, talking about the splash pad, and it looks like most of you are pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. I've got kids that love going to the splash pad, and nieces and nephews and stuff who really love that sort of thing. And ever since they closed the one over at Liberty Park, we've really been kind of missing it. So I know we've got the pool, and they love going to the pool too, but the splash pad is always a little something fun because you don't need to, it's kind of low barrier to entry. You just show up with your bathing suit on and go to town. It's a lot of fun. So splash pad is going to be awesome. So it is St. Patrick's Day, and my wife reminded me last night before we went to bed, hey, it's St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget to wear your green. And then lo and behold, I don't think I'm wearing any green today, guys. I think my underwear might be green, but I'm not going to be showing you. So if you catch me out on the street and you want to pinch me, I guess I deserve it today because I'm not wearing green. So just put myself out there, but be gentle, please, okay? All right, let's talk about some of the stuff that is happening. We got a couple of events that we want to make sure we get to. First of all, while we're talking about Sapulpa Parks, don't forget that they are hiring a lakes, parks and recreation operator. So this is primarily for the Sahoma Lakes and Pretty Water Lakes, the bait shop out there, the campground. This is someone that they are bringing in. They want a Sapulpa employee now with a set schedule, with benefits, with everything. So in the past that they have done this as a third-party contractor, now they're saying, hey, let's move this inside. We're already, the department that's maintaining these properties. Anyway, let's go ahead and hire somebody that is part of the team to do this. And so if you're interested in that position, and it sounds like it's a pretty cool position, then reach out to the city of Sapulpa to get an employment application. I think you can fill it out online as well. And then that will, we'll get somebody out there and, we'll come and interview you and stuff, because that'll be pretty cool. I'd like to meet you for sure. Okay, before I get to this, let me do one more thing. It is spring break. And so if you're looking for something to do with your kids, right now the Salvation Army Red Shield Youth Center has their Mad Scientist Camp going on, and that is from now through March 21st, which is this coming Friday. They're going to be doing STEM projects, and they'll have snacks and science experiments, and it is kind of all day long. It's from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is a paid thing. It does cost money to do because, it costs the Salvation Army to provide the materials for the experiments and the snacks and things like that. So it does cost money, but all of that information is over at the Sapulpa Salvation Army, the Salvation Army Red Shield Youth Center of Sapulpa. There we go, it's a mouthful. But it's over on the Facebook page. If you want to go check that out, you can go and do that. Getting really excited about this. I'm going to show you the poster for this. So hopefully you guys can see that. This is the poster for the new show. You should start seeing these going up all around town here very shortly. I've already put one up this morning. There's going to be more coming. In the Spirit of Motor is the season opener show for the Sapulpa Community Theater. It will be opening up not this coming Friday, but the next Friday. And it is going to be a good show. And I know that, like, in the Spirit of Motor kind of gives you the vibes that this is like a spooky, kind of scary show that maybe you don't want to bring your kids to. I can assure you that it is not that. So it probably does have some dramatic, undertones to it. But this is Valerie Speaks, who also does really good mysteries and really good comedies. And of course, Sapulpa Community Theater is well known for their family-friendly performances. And so highly encourage you guys to go get your tickets while you can. They are $15 for adults and only $5 for students pre-K through 18. You can go buy them now at sapulpatheater.org. And the show opens on March 28th. It will run that weekend and the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as well. So it's only going to be here for 2 weekends, and you're definitely going to want to get your tickets while you can because they will start selling out soon, okay? All right, so I think that's everything. I'm going to double check the comments real quick, make sure we don't have any other questions or anything coming in. People still talking about the Dollar General. That's good. Yeah, we're excited. So I want to know, like, are you guys going to go visit the new Dollar General when it opens up? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, actually, that one is actually where my house is. That will be the closest one to us. And so I may have to go there from time to time anyway. But I don't go out of my way to go to Dollar General, guys. So that's just me. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. Lucy is out of town. She is on spring break, enjoying it with her son and family. So we'll be looking forward to seeing her when she gets back next week. On Wednesday, I'm going to have someone who is directly involved with the construction here in downtown Sapulpa on the show, and we're going to talk to you guys about this. He also has a farm in Oralton, and we're going to talk about how they braved the wildfires that were happening in the area last week, and hopefully nothing else will happen over the course of today. So you guys stay vigilant. Stay classy, Sapulpa. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday where we talk about all things happening in the town that we love. Have a great Monday, everybody. See you in a couple days. Bye-bye.